Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Mercedes. In today's video, I have polishes for the Little Box of Horrors box for the month of January to share with you all.
Show you a place where you gon' wanna move your feet.
Now, if you haven't heard of what Little Box of Horrors is, it's a monthly collab between indie makers. They come together each month and they create limited edition items. We all probably know it for the nail polish, but there's all sorts of other items that are listed as well. And just like our other collabs, certain polishes and items can be capped, meaning that there's only a certain amount that are created. And once they sell out, that is it. You can't get your hands on them anymore. Now, specifically with Little Box of Horrors, obviously the theme suggests that it's like paranormal, spooky, like haunted, all of that. And then it always drills down to a more specific theme. So for this month, it's mythical creatures. Now, Little Box of Horrors opens the 18th of every month and they close the 30th. This is a pre-order, so once shop closes, you'll get your order in about 3 to 4 weeks from that time. Now, the polishes that I have are just a small amount that are available this month. There's a whole bunch of other offerings that will be available as well. Now, I always love Little Box of Horrors and then our smaller collabs because we get to see a lot of smaller indie companies, and it always gives, if you really love indie brands, it really gives you a chance to sort of branch out and get to see these other smaller brands, and you get to try different sorts of finishes, different brands, get to know the indie world even better. All right, let's get into these swatches. First up is Victorian Varnish, and this is Plasma Rising, priced at $13.50, and there's a cap of 200 bottles. This one's inspired by Plasma Powered Phoenix. It's an indigo base with intense violet, red, pink, orange aurora shimmer, and pink reflective glitter. This one had a fantastic formula for polish with reflective glitter. We all know, or if you don't know, polishes that have reflective glitter can tend to be on the thicker side, and usually we end up doing 3 coats, but this one was fantastic. I didn't have any issues with the consistency of the polish. I achieved opacity in 2 coats. I'm going to recommend 2 coats for everybody. I am in love with the shifts in this polish. We get this beautiful like orangey pink glow, and the pink reflective glitter, we can definitely see it. Sometimes I feel like with reflective glitter, especially the colored kind, it's really hard to see that color because it's so fine. But in this polish, I feel like I can definitely see the pink in the reflective glitter. But my favorite part is definitely that beautiful orangey pinky glow that the shimmer gives off. You're going to want to use a glitter smoother and then a glossy top coat over this because reflective glitter can dry down very textured. Pictured are 2 coats of Victorian Varnish Plasma Rising with a glossy top coat. Victorian Varnish is also bringing us another polish, and this one is Pneumatic Pegasus. This one is magnetic and reflective. It's $13.50, and there's a cap of 300, and the inspiration is Steampunk Pegasus. Now, the description is a reflective magnetic that has a red burgundy magnetic line with a blue violet aurora shimmer and bright lime green reflective glitter. Just like our previous one with the colored reflective glitter, I feel like we definitely saw the lime. You can already see it here on that first swatch. That lime color. Now I went in for a second coat, and I felt like this gave me great coverage. That burgundy line is very stark. If you want a super stark line, I recommend holding your magnet in for a long time. I usually like a more diffuse look, but honestly, I didn't leave my magnet on for that long, maybe like, I don't know, 10 to 15 seconds, and I was still able to get a pretty good like line across the nail. I love this base. It's sort of like a really like inky blue base. We have shifts from like a lovely like turquoise blue. I see some purple in there, and then that magnetic strip is just as described. We get like that red burgundy line with that lime reflective glitter. We're just getting all these colors, and you would think, you know, these 3 colors may not work well together, but in this polish they definitely do. Again, just with our previous one, this one has reflective glitter, so you're going to want to use a glitter smoother and then a glossy top coat over it. Pictured are 2 coats of Victorian Varnish Pneumatic Pegasus with a glossy top coat. Here we have Rain Dance Lacquer, and this is its Queen Butt Stallion, priced at $13, and there is a cap of 40 bottles. This one's inspired by Queen Butt Stallion from the Borderlands video games series. It is a vivid indigo polish that's packed with shifty pink chrome flakes and silver reflective glitter. Wow, this base color is super, super vibrant. I definitely agree with the description as a vivid indigo. It is this lovely shade of like blue, purple, like blurple in between. And then the pink chrome flakes that we see in here really contrast well against the base. They're not too like in your face, but they're definitely there and you're able to see them. Which I appreciate. I built this one up in 2 coats. I think everybody 2 to 3 coats, just depending on your polish style, the length of your nails, and all of that. On my shorter nails, I was definitely fine with just 2 coats. This one was definitely, spoiler, a favorite of mine. I just loved the sparkliness from the reflective glitter, and I just loved that vivid indigo base. Pictured are 2 coats of Rain Dance Lacquer. It's Queen Butt Stallion with a glossy top coat. Rain Dance Lacquer is also bringing us Isle of Sirens. This one's priced at $13 and there's a cap of 40 bottles. The inspiration is the sirens from the Odyssey. It is a cool toned medium pink crelly with glowing blue to purple aurora shimmer. This one definitely had a beautiful glow to it. The first coat we go on a little bit sheer, but honestly the coverage is pretty well for a crelly. On the second coat I get full opacity on my shorter nails. I'm going to recommend 2 to 3 for everybody. I love how this is that right in between like Barbie pink / bubblegum pink. It has like dusty vibes to it, like a dusty pink. And then with that blue to purple aurora shimmer, it just gives us that magnificent glow that I know we all love in polishes. This was absolutely beautiful on its own, but I feel like it definitely has not necessarily topper capabilities, I take that back, but definitely like sandwiching capabilities or a beautiful base and then, adding a gorgeous topper over it. I think it would just amplify this base even more. Pictured are 2 coats of Rain Dance Lacquer, Isle of Sirens with a glossy top coat. Next up, we have Peculiar Polish, and this one is called Loch Ness Monster, priced at $13.50, and there's a cap of 50 bottles, and the inspiration is the Loch Ness Monster. It is a shifty chameleon green to teal to purple with lime green reflective glitters. We have a lot of different colored reflective glitters this month. The first coat we go on a little bit sheer, but on that second coat we are really building up that beautiful like olivey green base. I'm definitely going to recommend 2 to 3 for everybody. If you want more of a deeper base, or if you have longer nails and want a more opaque look, I'm going to say 3 coats. But on my shorter nails, I think 2 is just fine. And wow, this one was absolutely stunning. That purple shift is so pretty. Like the green and the purple, these 2 colors together, and it's not even like a regular green. It is like this antique gold with like a dash of green in there, and I think it's also those green reflective glitters that are playing up with these shifts as well. This one was such a beautiful polish. I could see this as a pedicure as well. This is definitely like an all year round polish for sure. Love the glow and I love the sparkle. Pictured are 2 coats of Peculiar Polish, Loch Ness Monster with a glossy top coat. We are moving on to Night Owl Lacquer, and this is Yeti or Not, priced at $13, and there is no cap. This one's inspired by Yeti to go along with the December Sasquatch polish. I absolutely love it. It is a clear base filled with vibrant crystal flakes that shift a lot of different colors, guys. You ready for this? Magenta, orange, yellow, green. It has holographic dust and a blue violet microflake shimmer. So this is jam-packed with a whole bunch of amazing ingredients and components, and they all just work lovely together. We get this nice sort of like lavender, like bluish sort of base. The shifts are glorious. I see a little bit of yellow, a little bit of blue, and then of course all of those flakies are just bringing this like dustier base to life. We see the magenta, we see the orange, we see some of that yellow and some green at certain angles. I love how this is a clear base, but you add all of these amazing components and you get this fantastic look on the nails. This would be beautiful for the springtime and honestly even for winter too, if you want something a little bit more airier. Pictured are 2 coats of Night Owl Lacquer, Yeti or Not, with a glossy top coat. Here we have Jen and Berries, and this is 9 Heads Are Better Than One, priced at $13.50, and there's a cap of 300 bottles. The inspiration is Hydra. It is a teal jelly base with intense purple, pink, gold, and green shimmer. Now the green is definitely at extreme angles, but we'll see on the full hand swatch. You guys can tell me. But I built this one up in 3 coats. I just thought I needed that 3rd coat just to sort of even everything out. I'm going to recommend 3 coats for everybody, just so you can get the most opaque look on the nail. I love this deep base. Looking directly on, we see a lot of blue, but on the full hand swatch and as you're just moving your hands around, we definitely see more of a purpley pink, and it could be a lot of that shifty shimmer in here. We can see the green. You guys see the green, right? And we see a little bit of yellow and gold as well. This one is definitely a very shifty polish because the shimmer is super intense, and we are working with sort of a jellier base, so that shimmer is sort of taking over that base, which I'm not mad at because this is a gorgeous polish. Pictured are 3 coats of Gin and Berries. 9 heads are better than 1 with a glossy top coat. Next up is Garden Path Lacquers, and this is Mother of Monsters, priced at $13.50, and there is no cap, and it's inspired by Mothra. It is a black jelly base filled with gold shifting aurora shimmer, gold holographic micro glitter, and blue shifting glass flakies. This one was definitely a like rich and regal, very royal sort of shade. We get this very like antique look on the nail. The black jelly base is very faint. It gives us this like smoky, shadowy vibe, but in the center of the nail, all of that beautiful gold micro glitter is really shining on through. The blue glass shifting flakes give us a little bit of more color into this polish, and it just reminds me of like very old ancient gold with like jewels in it. That's definitely what this polish reminds me of. I'm going to recommend 2 to 3 coats for everybody. Pictured are 2 coats of Garden Path Lacquers, Mother of Monsters with a glossy top coat. Here we have Cracked Polish, and this is a One-Eyed Horned. This one's priced at $13, and there's a cap of 200, and it's inspired by Purple People Eater. This one is described as a magenta purple shade that is packed with electric blue shimmer, red micro glitters, and it has pink flakes as well. You can see on the first coat we've gone a little bit sheer, a little bit streaky, but on that second coat, this is where we see the magic eyes. We build up that magenta purple base. I was fine with this in 2 coats on my shorter nails. I'm going to recommend 2 to 3 for everybody. If you want more of a deeper shade, or if you have very long nails, maybe 3 coats might be best for you. But wow, how gorgeous is this? The glow is intense against this darker base. The micro red glitters give us that sparkle and shine that we all want. But I feel like that main component in here is that electric blue shimmer. I'm telling you, anytime a polish has specifically electric blue shimmer, I don't know if it's like a specific ingredient where it's just called electric blue shimmer, or if our makers describe it as electric, but whenever I see electric blue shimmer in a polish, I immediately know that it's going to have a beautiful glow and it's going to look stunning with whatever base color it's in, because this one was just beautiful. It gave me this juicy look on the nail. The shifts were so pretty, and the sparkle was just like amazing. Pictured are 2 coats of Cracked Polish, One-Eyed Horned with a glossy top coat. Here we have BCB Lacquers, and this is Lead Them to the Hidden World, priced at $13.50, and there's a cap of 150 bottles. This one's inspired by Luna the Light Fury and How to Train Your Dragons. It is a lilac crelly hollow with a strong green shifting shimmer. This formula was fantastic for such a lighter shade. 2 coats gave me full opacity. I honestly think 2 coats on long or short nails will work with everybody. This lilac shade is giving me like this creamy milky vibe, but that green shifting shimmer in here is just so pretty. It has like just enough of that shimmer to give it this beautiful like shift and glow. Originally I was like, oh, this is not going to be like a polish for me, and I was going to destash it, but as soon as I painted my nails with it, I was like, no, I'm definitely holding on to this one, because how can I get rid of it? My favorite component in this polish is that green shifting shimmer. I think it looks fantastic against this lighter base. It just gives me like this really fresh manicured look with just adding something a little bit extra to it. Pictured are 2 coats of BCB Lacquers, Lead Them to the Hidden World with a glossy top coat. And the final polish is also from BCB Lacquers. This is Soul of a Dragon, priced at $13.50, and there's a cap of 150 bottles. Inspiration is Toothless, the Night Fury, and How to Train Your Dragons. This is a thermal polish, so it's bright blue when cold to a light blue when warm, and it has pink, orange, gold, green flakies. I was in love with both shades or both variations in the warm and cold state with this polish. Those flakies are very chunky, but they lie down flat, give me no issues with application. 2 coats was beautiful. I think 2 coats will work wonders for everybody. I love how we see that beautiful like pink orangey glow from the flakes, and the base color, this blue shade, has like a dash of purple in there. It's very vivid and very bright and bold. And then during our transition, we get this very like lighter blue / lilac-y dusty shade, and the flakies are still strong and intense, but they match very well with the base. So they are intense, but I feel like they also sort of change, sort of like maybe chameleon flakes. I think they're not chameleon flakes, but it's like the vibrancy of the flakes, and not that the vibrancy decreases and doesn't look as good. It just blends in more with the lighter shade, if that makes any sense. Pictured are 2 coats of BCB Lacquer's Soul of a Dragon with a glossy top coat. All right, I do have some favorites. I usually show you guys the bottles, but I actually don't have them in front of me, so I'm just gonna name them off and I'll show like a little clip of the picture. First one being from Rain Dance Lacquer, and it's Queen Butt Stallion. I was so in love with that formula, so in love with the base shade, the components that are in there. It was just so vibrant and it applied so easily on the nails. This is a newer to me brand, and I've swatched a couple times already for this brand, and I've really been enjoying the formula. It's always been consistent. The brush is amazing, and just this color specifically, in love. Peculiar Polish was another one that I really enjoyed. I loved the intense glow that we got. It was sort of like a mix of this pruggly / really nudish pretty shade. I thought all the components worked so well together, and it's just one of those polish that you can wear at any time of the year and it's gonna look stunning on your nails. Cracked Polish took me by surprise because I'm not really big into like pinks, magentas. It has to be that right shade, and this one just was just so pretty on the nails. Like the full manicure was just stunning. Formula was great. I built it up in 2 coats, and I loved the finished look on the nails. I loved the shimmer that was in it too. It was just so vibrant and glowy, and I thought both of the shimmer and the base shade mixed together just created a beautiful finish on the nails. And then BCB Lacquer's Soul of a Dragon, man, yes, I know it's a thermal, and sometimes I'm like iffy with thermals, but I enjoyed the thermal in both states. I loved the vibrancy of the base that we got in its colder state, and then in the warm state, I really enjoyed the like pastel vibes that we got with the flakies. I just thought it was really pretty. Let me know if you plan on picking up any of these polishes. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.